Alright, people, this is a vlog, a vlog. I don't know how you say these things. Um, Vlog? Anyway, I'm gonna be recording some videos where I just go through my adventures in. I'd like to touch on many topics, but I just started decided to start with this one on the topic of mental illness and psychiatry. So in this field, there are very big differences between different places, different societies. So like when somebody becomes mentally ill, what they call mentally ill, you know, that they're psychotic or they're schizophrenic or all these words, they usually get treated by the authorities, the health authorities, and they use professionals, you know, in the field of psychiatry. So basically psychiatry is linked to medical services in some way, at least as far as I have seen. There are some professionals that are work outside the system, but you know, they will have private practices like psychoanalytic or whatever, but the psychiatrists are the ones who have the license to diagnose people and to call them crazy, basically. So there are big differences between countries. For example, particularly they speak different languages and they belong to different there are different cultures that have different traits. You know, for example, I'm from Spain originally, and at the moment I've been living in Finland for 10 years, 11 years or so. So I've only got into this, you know, I've only become interested in these issues since I've been living in Finland. So now that I am back in Spain and I'm trying to integrate back here, I do it with a different frame of mind, and I am curious as to how they do things here, because I know how they do things in Finland and I want to explore the differences. So I have been trying to meet a psychiatrist from here, and so far it's been really difficult to ask this person how they do things here. So my approach so far has tried to be informal. I have been trying to meet these people. The first psychiatrist I tried to meet was this basically related person who should have no problem being, you know, meeting me for a coffee and talking about the issue. You know, she should have some curiosity about my background, which I explained to her. She should. You would think that as professionals they're interested in how they do things in other countries, or how somebody with my background has ended up doing research in mental illness. But she was not interested at all. She never showed any one bit of interest in all these things I was saying. And she even arranged to meet me, and then when I turned up, she basically did not turn up. She was delayed by 40 minutes, according to her. She did apologize, but then she just did not show that she didn't give me any reason to trust that she was going to turn up the next time around. So I didn't go in the end, and I just give up. So now I've tried again, and I've gone to a medical center, and my expectation is the same. My expectation is, because I know the culture here And generally, you know, when I go to see, when I meet somebody from any profession, like I have met people from the construction business here and other kinds of professions. They tend to be very open people. They have no problem telling you what are the professionals that are, how they treat people, what methods they use, and what they do basically. Even though I'm not a professional in the field, maybe if I was a professional in their field, they would have some reservations. But I don't. It doesn't seem that they would be so afraid to talk about their subject. But yeah, I went to this medical center they treat, this is called a neurology center. They treat mental conditions, and they have a service. I checked their website and they have psychology services as well, so they're not just focused on the brain, but they look at personal issues as well. So I went there, and yeah, the receptionist just couldn't process that I really just wanted to meet somebody and talk and have a chat about the business, that I am in the business of researching these things, and I wanted to talk to somebody who is a psychiatrist or interested in the topic, which they should, because it is a topic that is very there's basically no last word on these things. Everything is being constantly researched, and constantly knowledge about these issues is changing all the time, and there's many branches, many methodologies and approaches, so it's good to keep an open mind. So yeah, there was none of that in her attitude, and she basically asked me what kind of project did I want this for, and I insisted I don't want it for any project. I actually just want to have a chat about this business. I want to find out how psychiatrists are treating people here, and what they're doing, and how the process, how things work, how they collaborate with the authorities, and how they collaborate with different specialists, things like that. So, but she kept insisting that I had some kind of a hidden agenda, and I was some kind of delusional, all the way to maybe I was delusional and psychotic, and I was just lying to her about my interest. And there was no way that I could be just curious. It had to be that I was crazy, and that or that I was some kind of playing some trick on them and wanted to expose the lie in their practices. So there was so much paranoia in her the way that she received me, that you really begin to wonder whether people become mentally ill because they get infected with these tendencies which are in the society, which are in people that look for that kind of jobs. I know that it's not that black and white, but there certainly are these kind of psychological influences that can make you sick. I literally, when I came out of that place, I went in there with a friendly mood and really looking forward to meeting somebody interesting, and I came out feeling terrible, feeling like I was in a hole, and some people might come and diagnose me any minute, because I was breaking the normality by asking questions and asking for some human contact around these topics of interest. So I ended up feeling like a mad person, and I even felt literally sick. I felt sick. I had trouble eating, so I decided to come to the beach and so that I could recover. So anyway, we'll see you on the next vlog or whatever they're called.